The Economist states, the past week has been the darkest in Europe since the fall of the Iron Curtain. Ukraine is being sold off, Russia is being rehabilitated, and under Donald Trump, America can no longer be counted on to come to Europe's aid in wartime. But Europe's worst nightmare is bigger than Ukraine. Trump is determined to rehabilitate Putin by abandoning years of isolating him. That's right. Europe is finally beginning to understand who Trump is targeting. It's only a stone's throw from realizing that Trump was recruited by the KGB between 1976 and 1978. But what to do with this knowledge is up to the Europeans. Because the US can no longer be counted on. America is in for equally dark times, with a divided society and possible civil war. But for now, Trump is destroying American institutions and the world order established at the end of the Cold War. Putin is a guy you can get along with, and Zelensky is a dictator who will be corrected by elections. Czech President Petr Pavel is indignant. What value will elections have in a country that has been defending itself for 3 years against aggression from a neighboring nuclear superpower? You have to have a great deal of cynicism to call the president of such a country a dictator. Argentine President Javier Milei gives Elon Musk a gold-plated chainsaw as a symbol of getting rid of everything obsolete. The stone Trumpists continue to rejoice, while the rest are quietly stunned. The White House publishes funny pictures of Trump the King, and spontaneous rallies against his administration's policies are already sweeping across the United States. The largest protests took place in Boston, Florida, and California under the slogans "No Kings on President's Day" and "Elon Musk must go." Trump continues to insist that Zelensky sign a deal on mineral resources, and he even issues an ultimatum to Europe. Rare earth threatens to withdraw American troops from Europe if Ukraine does not capitulate within 3 weeks. At the same time, secret negotiations between the Americans and Russians were held even in Switzerland. Behind-the-scenes sniffing of new allies is in full swing, turning the established world order upside down. The rachists are anticipating quick relief and legalization of the law of the jungle. Quote, if everything goes well, then theoretically the sanctions against the Russian Federation can be weakened, or even completely cancelled. Otherwise, they will be strengthened. The conclusion is simple: Zelensky, stop being cheeky to your elders, sign the agreement on mineral resources before it's too late. And not, as Mr. Vice President said, Russia has a bigger army and a lot of weapons, so you will regret it. This is what the cavemen write. So, the aggressor will be encouraged, and the victim will be punished through harsh coercion to not resist. From now on, the law of the strong will be normalized all over the world. Trump is not even Chamberlain. He is much worse. His embrace with Putin is more reminiscent of the alliance between Hitler and Stalin. If the Russians have almost stopped the advance at the front, they are developing logistics routes in the captured territories. The Russians have launched a full-fledged railway connection between Rostov and Mariupol, which will shorten the route of delivering military equipment to the front from Rostov-on-Don to Mariupol and Volnovakha. Further plans include launching a railway line to Crimea. Against this background, some U.S. companies have suspended arms supplies to Ukraine, and the Speaker of the lower house of the U.S. Congress, Mike Johnson, has declared a lack of appetite for providing financial assistance to Ukraine. That is, the peacework Trumpists only have an appetite for rare earth metals. Trump is clearly taking revenge on Zelensky for refusing to sink Biden in 2019 by disclosing the demands of the red-haired criminal, for which he received his first impeachment. This vindictiveness, coupled with his KGB bias, explains Trump's anger and hatred towards all of Ukraine. The United States refuses to co-author a UN resolution dedicated to the 3-year anniversary of the rachists' invasion of Ukraine. The document supports Ukraine's territorial integrity and once again demands that Russia withdraw its troops. Washington also objects to a phrase in a statement that the G7 plans to release next week condemning Russian aggression. And Republican congressmen in the United States have introduced a bill to completely withdraw the country from the UN. It seems that America is going to become great on its own, leaving everything and joining exclusively with Putin. Europe, experiencing shock, is slowly coming to its senses. The British believe that it is more important for their country to support Ukraine than to maintain good relations with the United States at any cost. That's what 48% of the British respondents answered. The Kremlin is preparing to announce its victory. On the horizon is a new friendship with the US and punishment of Ukraine, the return of now non-enemy brands to the cave, the lifting of sanctions and the signing of contracts. Putin is a genius. Ukraine is returning to the orbit of its former influence, and it is possible to slowly sniff around the Baltic countries. The world is dislocated. The world is shaken. Where are you, the new Oswald? Or at least Storfenbung? They are not giving an answer.